verse that says, either learn me or I'ma listen. So put that in your juice box and suck it, because it's just period.
Say it again.
It says either learn me or I'ma listen. In relationships, you're
Okay.
going to have to learn how to love me. I'm going to have to learn how to love you, or this thing ain't gonna work. We just gonna be a listen to each other. And let me not expound on what I think lessons are in relationships, but yeah.
Okay.
Don't let me stop.
Welcome to the Equals Podcast. Gonna do your thing, kid. It's my bad.
Yeah, I don't have to bring it in. Welcome to Equals Podcast. It's about everything, business, relationships, whatever we went through this week. I am Katie Joy.
I am Lene. Hey.
7. Shungo.
I like the way you said it. So we were kicking it off. We're talking about being able to do whatever drugs. We're gonna talk about Valentine's Day.
No, we're not talking about doing whatever drugs.
Definitely.
Well, sugar as an addiction. You're already on a drug and you don't even know
It should
it.
be possible for you to
Look, I
do whatever
feel
drugs.
like
I
society
think
should have some type of limitations. Listen, I understand what you're saying, brother, on that.
So
But
I'm-
everybody in the society don't have that discipline to not go do what the hell they want to do. Too many grandma's TVs were stolen on Christmas Eve.
Oh, we're not.
Mine included. So, with that, by they sons.
So Shango is super conservative on the issue. And
Should you be
7,
allowed to do whatever type of recreational drug you want?
I personally believe so, just because if you go to the doctor and they give you Pepsi, which is OTC, or tell you to take it, like you can take it, you could go buy it. And there's so many drugs that are legal in other places other than the U.S. that are just helpful. Like if you have an infection, you can go in Canada and get an OTC antibiotic or antiviral that's like, it might cost you $40, but at the same time, it's over the counter. You don't have to wait till you see a doctor to do it.
Well, I'll say it like this. I can't just say I'm ultra conservative on the issue, but to me, there has to be some type of regulation in its distribution. I'll put it like that. Because I'd be hypocritical to say, hey, you shouldn't be
Have
doing
it.
this drug because I've done drugs. I'm pretty sure everybody here has done some type
for
of
yourself.
substance. All right. Anyway, in their lifetime.
I've drank, and I think drinking is so dangerous. Like some people, this guy, no, it was a girl talking to me about how her ticket for texting and driving was higher than her drinking and driving. And to me, drinking and driving, you think you have the ability to drive when you're drunk. Like you think you have that ability. But when you're texting, you're like taking your eye off the road, like you purposely not driving to do something else. So to me, it is worse. And so when we think about like drugs and their use, we are setting values on what's the worst drug. But we got like things like sugar, alcohol, there's OTC that kills us faster because we have so much access to it.
Speaking of drugs, I figured that we should go ahead and swerve
a
this
drug.
thing. Love is a drug. So, with that being said,
A drug.
what's out? So, the hot movie that was out, I guess a couple weeks ago, we're a little late, sorry for the snowstorm, was Malcolm and Marie. Has everybody seen
I'm tired.
Malcolm and Marie? Did everybody watch the movie?
Hated it.
I hated it too.
sorry.
I hated it too. Don't feel bad. I was just like, y'all know, y'all don't have to do this. Like somebody can leave. I was waiting for somebody to just go somewhere else.
For me, it just seemed like, I don't know. They were black actors with white scripts. It
Oh, it
didn't
was definitely
seem.
a white
It
script.
didn't seem.
No black people say cunt
There-
when
there
they
was
get mad.
no-
You gonna be all types of something else is what you gonna be, but you're not gonna be a cunt.
Well, yeah,
The
and
C word.
like I say,
Over
when
and
you
over
watching it,
again.
you
It was
didn't see like what's keeping y'all together? Like, why?
Oh, the glue.
Yeah.
Right? Like, why are you doing
But
this?
but you do, because he's a narcissist. She's sort of a narcissist, but she has
She's a
addictive
narcissist.
personality
Yeah,
disorder at the same time. So
Okay, but hold on. All right.
they were codependent.
Spoiler
They were
alert.
definitely codependent, and she was
Spoiler
also
alert.
a victim. Like, she was like a major. She like victimized things. in her
For
head, not-
for those who haven't seen the movie, basically, Denzel's son,
Young Denzel,
young
as I call him.
Didn't
John
thank,
David Washington.
didn't thank his wife at, was it the screening or the
Girlfriend,
award
right?
show?
Well, yeah, they weren't married.
They weren't
were
his
just dating.
fiance.
Yeah.
At the premiere of his movie, he thanked everybody else but her. And me, from my experience in relationships,
Your first mistake.
first of all, she wasn't gonna be there
There's
when
God,
you got
then
home,
there's me.
or there was gonna be a brick upside your head. I don't know.
It would have been a why you making this
Okay,
speech?
hello.
Did you get down?
There's
Did you get
there's
down?
God,
Especially
and
if
then
the
there's
movie
me.
was about
Don't be playing.
her experience.
Yeah.
But like I say, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched it, it's on Netflix.
I don't know. Don't save yourself some time. People shouldn't talk to each other.
You should
that way.
watch it for the
no.
macaroni and cheese.
Oh, that was
You should-
disrespectful.
you
It was
should-
That
like-
craft.
Yeah,
That crap.
that's how you
And
know
it
when a
was-
black movie.
It was
Just-
the sorriest bowl of crap I had ever seen. I was like, did she put the little cheese packet in
But
there?
She
what
did,
black
but she
man-
She
I
just
just-
sprinkled it while it
Yeah,
was
I
in
was
the.
just like-
What black man is gonna come home from an award show? First and foremost,
And he was
everybody
hungry.
know after y'all done left a big little whatever, y'all eating while you out. So
Waffle House.
ain't nobody about to come home.
Did he have a reason to thank her though?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but
He had a
I'm
man-
here.
I'm sorry.
He done drove the bus driver, the Uber driver. He done thanked everybody, but yeah. So like, it's like
It's so funny because she have a reason.
she got mad for
But
real.
when you're in a relationship with somebody and you're able to accomplish a thing, somehow, some way, they've most likely either inspired you
Contributed.
or contributed to make your life better so that you can accomplish that thing.
All right, like we're here. What? We did this.
I don't know if like when you're first, I'm a like not a neat person, but when I'm liking on a dude,
gonna
it be
keep everything
spotless, the
together.
car be, and y'all know if you've been in my car, like you know what I'm saying, there's
Yes.
room on the front seat.
If you have ever
Right.
been in Candace's car, the reason that you are out alive, you are blessed. You are-
Pray up before you get in there.
Man,
Pray up
what-
and buckle up.
Because she is going 50 in Walmart parking lot. It's going down.
Pray up and buckle up. That is my advice. But you know, I'm just saying, when you're in love, there's energy. I mean, people believe waves and energy are all around, but you get an energy from wanting to be better, to be able to be good to a person. And so you saw that with them in the movie. But they had this codependency on each other that was just unhealthy. Like her addictive
Yeah, I think
personality.
they were
disorder.
stuck.
I still
think
didn't
they
see
were
the
stuck.
love.
I didn't see
I
that.
didn't see
I
any
felt like
love
they
in
were
that
so
movie.
disrespectful to each other. Like it was just like
I wouldn't have been that disrespectful.
And who argues
Lord.
after having sex? Like, we done had sex and you
Ooh,
still
can I
trying
talk
to
about
argue.
that? Let me
I'm-
tell you.
No.
I just want to say.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. First of all,
I can disconnect. I can
Yeah. See
compartmentalize.
me, I'm not.
We'll talk about this in the
What?
morning. I'm not
sleep.
doing
I'm sleep. I don't.
And
No.
another thing. Wait, what?
No, but I will say it's so funny because I have seen plenty of people in general, because I always say like that movie brought up self-awareness and self-accountability. Those are things that a lot of people do not have. You don't realize if you're not a considerate person, you don't realize how much that's missing out of everyday life. But that woman was mad. She was mad for like the first 40 minutes. And the only time that he realized like her body language when she walked in, when she went to the bathroom, when she was slamming cabinets, throwing stuff in the pan, mixing it up, like slamming stuff on the stove, he did not realize she was so upset because he was so caught up
on himself.
on himself. And he
Yep.
didn't and what made me so mad is even when he started to pay attention to her, however she was feeling wasn't validated until she rejected his sexual advances. Like when he got between her legs and he looked up and she gave him like this little smize on her face, like, what are you doing? And he was like, what's wrong? And she said, nothing. And then that's when it started. I was like, so now you see
Nothing's
that
never
she's
nothing.
upset. Yeah, he's like,
And-
oh, so what's wrong with you? You mad? What are you mad about? And I'm like, she been mad for the past 40 minutes and you haven't seen it?
So,
But
question.
the soundtrack. was the
Oh,
bomb.
the soundtrack was
Oh,
off
the
the
soundtrack
chain.
was
Oh,
lit.
yes, sir.
Was any of that due to her lack of communication?
I feel like she could have told him she was mad, but at the same time, I feel like when you have verbal when you have non-verbal cues
No.
like that, you should know, like, I done did something. I wouldn't.
They were-
Listen here, and I'll speak from experience on those nonverbal cues. Sometimes us as men, we ain't paying attention to that.
I'm gonna tell you.
It's like you're aware. I tell people all the time, you're objective to yourself. Like when I walk in the room, I'm paying attention to everything else but me.
But-
and it's like for men when they go somewhere, it's like it's me and then it's everything else. Like,
I don't
I'm gonna
think that's
interact
just
with
a
this.
men thing. I think it's just, are you an observer? When people say
Yeah, 'cause I
learn how to
people
read the
watch.
room,
I people watch.
It's so many people who hadn't learned how to read a
trying to
room
tell you.
ever.
Please.
And to me, the communication was bad on both parts because they hadn't learned how to talk to each other. They were infatuated. They thought each other
I don't
were
even
sexy.
understand
think
how
they
they
should've
got
been together.
infatuated.
Yeah,
I
'cause-
was lost.
No, because she was like really pretty. That dress was the bomb on her. Like she was
But I'm
really
just-
gorgeous.
I mean, I get that they're. I think both of them were
model
attractive, but I'm saying to each other. I'm not understanding how they were infatuated with each other. Because if I'm communicating like that with someone all the time, I'm not attracted to you at that point. Like, I don't want anything to do with you because I don't want you to tear me down all day, and I don't want to tear you down all day. And those scenes that they were in, it was like one person would be done, and we could I didn't even see how like in some of their funny moments it was supposed to be like funny, like this is the good part, and I was just like, no, that ain't.
That ain't even funny.
That's
Now,
not-
okay, just to close that, because this is going to be one of our shorter episodes.
Yes.
I'll just say this. I can't say that I would recommend the movie, but I will say to me it was a great concept done incorrectly. That's what I feel. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I feel like had the script been catered more, well, I mean, if you look it up, it was a white writer, so you can tell like there's certain nuances that weren't there. So I feel like like I say, even if you put white people there, then it probably would have felt more
I
genuine.
was like, I could see
you know,
it. Yeah.
but
I could see that, and I could also see another actress and an actor as well, because I feel like their chemistry, like I understand like their stances. Like he was supposed to be like this loud, narcissistic, like uncompromising, and she was supposed to be like so exhausted. But I still feel like they both could have gave more, so it could have made sense. Because she
I'll
was
say
so
this,
nonchalant to where it
from
didn't
an
matter.
actor standpoint, a lot of that too, that's where a good director comes in, because he's going to be able to see what you can't see. You know, just from being on that stage, he should be able to see that, or the people in that crew should be okay, something's missing here, and be able to suggest something to bring that out.
You know, like the way you deliver on it.
Right.
Yeah,
the
because
way
I
you
didn't think they
deliver
were
it.
bad, but I was like, I definitely
both
could have
have
saw.
talent.
Yeah, I definitely could have saw like some people who were more seasoned who would have made that make a little bit more sense. So
Okay, so I guess on to the other film, Judas
I'm hurt.
and the Black Messiah.
I'm so hurt about that movie.
Oh, I didn't get to watch it.
I'm really hurt.
I'm-
Have you seen that one?
Well, I'm just gonna say in a roundabout way, since we need to catch up on that one, because it is one that everybody needs to watch. It's a contrast, definitely, in regards to Malcolm and Marie, because of the love story with Fred Hampton and his wife. It's a beautiful thing to see, but it was so disheartening to see how infiltrated the Black Panther was by their own people, like by so many black people who betrayed them just to protect themselves behind some false charges that like really wouldn't even upheld. Now the main guy, of course, yes, he should have went to prison in regards to what he was impersonating or whatever. But it
Was it
when
about
you
Fred Hampton? Was it?
it was about him, and then just the people who were infiltrating the Black Panther. So I would just say in regards to, I think everybody definitely needs to watch it. But it really was. I was like, man, when you sit there and say like we always have an Uncle Tom, or it's always that one black person, and then you start looking like, what? Like you and I was like, what? But what was the point? Like I feel like when you get in and you see how big it is and how meaningful it is, like at that point, you should learn how to play the system at that point. Like if you're gonna go in infiltrating and you see what this is really about and you're really caring about it, I feel like you should be destructive anymore. Like at that point.
I just would like to say that I'm probably not gonna watch it because none of y'all have not given me HBO Max password.
Not
so
HBO
you
Max
know,
password. You call me. I'll send it.
okay. That's the main reason.
Seven, have you seen the movie?
I was disappointed, man.
Okay.
I didn't want to watch the movie, but you know, everybody within my cipher was saying, "Man, you should watch the movie. I want you to watch it."
Yeah, it wasn't as great as everybody was portraying, but I think the story itself was something to write
because
about.
of the schisms from True History? What was that? What was the disappointment?
Listen, I hate reading about stuff and then seeing it on film, and
it's totally
I
different.
wasn't even expecting anything though, but it seemed to be focused more on the guy
Who was infiltrating.
Oh, like he was the hero almost, or he was the
I
hero?
wouldn't
he
necessarily
wasn't the hero.
but I'm saying like all the history of the Black Panthers itself
Was
especially
minimalized in there.
It
Yeah.
was null and void.
They need a series for
Like,
it.
you
honestly.
didn't see anything about the 10-point program or what they had to do to become a Panther. Like, that was a whole, you know what I'm saying? So
I just think
I'd
that-
rather it been focused on Fred, on the chairman lifestyle, the way he did day to day, or even if they had parallels, it just seemed more focused on.
And I'll say this, you know, me and Seven more versed in COINTELPRO and stuff like that. So, that was to be expected. Like, we already know the history of that. So, with in history, there's always going to be a Judas per se, like A2 Brutus.
With that, when bringing that up, so I had to have this conversation. I work at a corporation that has a Black employee network. So if you want to learn something about Black people, you can come and learn. And like, it's really cool because this being Black History Month, like I found myself really disappointed in the there's this group of people, Black immigrants that come here don't have the same experience as we do as Black Americans, in my opinion. They want to speak on it so much.
I'll say this. They're going to be coons regardless.
Oh
because you're going to have people that's from the diaspora or wherever that's down for the cause regardless.
Yeah.
Like that they understand.
I dated a guy from Nigeria that was like,
you
all
got
Black,
people
like,
that's from Cedar Grove that's gonna sell your ass out. Like, that's what it is. Like, and it's always like, I unfortunately have given up on that idea of Black unity, Black righteousness. We all gonna come together and being all white in the Congo circle.
Not all white.
Like, I've seen it. You know what I mean? Like, I have a reference point from that. So, but it's not gonna happen.
It just hurt me so bad. And I talked to, we had like Afro Latina, like we had, our Black History Month at work was lit. So there's a lady, she's Somali, and a man from Costa Rica, and these are all Black people. And I was just like explaining, I was like, I know this girl, she located here from another place, and like she doesn't see racism. And they were like, because in other countries, it has not been, like, the discrimination, one, hasn't been a part of their law as much, and then two, they don't lead with race because theirs is more colorism and classism.
I have problems there because in Africa, they are well versed in apartheid and racism, even within their own class system of blackness.
It's almost classism because it's so much.
So you can't, I'll say this, people here at this table having some type of experience with immigration, these people are well vetted before they are able to come here.
They are. They receive certain amounts of money, grants.
So all of that COINTELPRO, they got this information. These people have so much information on these people. They blood type, they whole family, whoever is surrounding them. Before you were able to come to the United States, they know everything about you, dog.
Yeah.
So,
but that was my my eye opener, because a lot of times I'm going, like I said, when I did date someone African, like he was like Black, like down for the cause, like he knew what it was like to be Black in America, and it's like this big schism of people that see Black Americans, one, as less than, and then two, they want to speak on things that, like, you'll never get that experience because this particular person, you came here, you immigrated,
I always say,
married somebody white, so you don't even have that.
If you experience, and it's always too late, like by the time they experience it, they've ran over people who look like them.
Oh,
By the time it's now you're getting, you're experiencing police brutality, or you're getting, like unfair charges, or you've been assaulted or something like that. Then it's like now you realize like just because I'm from Africa doesn't mean they don't see me as like I'm not black.
I'll say this, Seven, I don't know if you want to expound on anything further on this, but like just from being in the conscious community actively for a little while,
Whatever that is.
Yeah, that's a whole
especially where it's, like, because a lot of times, sometimes now it's not even about the knowledge anymore on that, but that's a whole nother subject. But my thing is, like, people are people. People are going to be
human
people, so it's a lot of ego involved. There's so much stuff. So, like, plug that track, Get It Started with Me and Dude. Like, that's basically what we talking about, vibing with your tribe. So, like, probably a couple years ago, I remember I came to say, I was like, I'm kind of off this black, you know what I mean? Like, if we gonna come together.
I always say,
But I said that, to say, you have to take care of your own, what you can control. So your family and your group of people that you allow into your cipher, and then you build from there. Because trying to reach out, if you see these streets and you know who out of these streets, anybody can't be
you
safe.
really can't. And it's still just that particular thing, especially with it being Black History Month. I was like, and I totally agree with you, because I always say we need to stop having a come together meeting and just do like, for me, the movie I tried to recommend to y'all, and it's a hypothetical situation, and was One Night in Miami, because it's a hypothetical conversation of Malcolm X and Sam Cooke and Sam Cooke and
Ali, maybe?
Ali.
Yeah, Ali was
And Jim Brown.
And Jim Brown.
Ali
And it's a
as well.
hypothetical, so you're not like, oh my God.
No,
Like,
that was
good.
an actual night before.
They actually had it,
I
but
got
you
it.
don't
but
know
in
what
regards
they
to
said.
the concept,
And
you don't know what they were talking about.
For me, what it brought up was there's so many different ways to be pro-Black. Like, Sam Cooke was like, economically, I'm changing lives. Malcolm was like, this is a struggle. And Jim Brown was like, you don't even have a job, sir. And I'm going to switch, and I'm going to try and publicly appeal and make Black people look good publicly through these movies. So everybody had their own way of, this is how I'm going
to represent being black.
Black.
And they also
And
had
there's
a way of
multiple ways.
how they felt as though each one of their movements, were so far removed from the people. Because there was even a part of like whatever their conversations were, where someone made the comment about where like in regards to what is it?
It was so many.
Farrakhan, like how big his house was and how far he was removed, and like how the same people he was talking about, white supremacy, and how they have these resources, that he was living like a king and his people were in the streets dying and being poor. Yeah, so
But one thing I can say about, not necessarily Farrakhan, I think we brought this up on the other episode. The Nation of Islam did at a point come in and get the worst of the worst out the communities and transform these men's lives. Like they would come in
were legit.
and they were strict discipline. Like when the nation was on point, I mean, not to say, I mean, they're not what they were, and that's just being real. No disrespect to the nation, but there was a point in time they were a real force to be reckoned with, because they could come in with something tangible to change a black man or a black family's life.
Yeah. I agree. I think even just 50s and 60s, the pride of family was coming back. There's so many, like if you draw a parallel, like there are some families that just believed in the family structure. You're going to dress nice. You're going to go to work. You're going to be a family unit. And then you have people constantly tearing at that every time there was something, which to me, I believe that a whole family is kind of like how you make society better. If you know mom and dad really care about you, whether they're together or not, hopefully together. If you know your parents care about you, if you getting in trouble at school, you know you have to face them, or you know that you have an advocate if you've been done wrong. And so family being so important, to me, the Nation of Islam did like you said, a really good job at teaching men to be men, to dress really nice, to not be addicted to things, to even the discipline of standing on a corner and selling newspapers in a nice suit. To me, that's job skills some people today will never even get. And if you only do that one thing, change them in that one way, like you made an impact.
Yeah, I think a lot of people don't even realize how impactful like the Nation of Islam is.
Yeah.
The Nation have a long reach, man. We ain't just talking about the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We talking about Malcolm. We talking about Farrakhan. We talking about Clarence the 13th.
Yeah.
Wesley Muhammad. You know, it's a lot of Khalid Muhammad. Like he produced great fruit. You know, so that's something you can't take away from the Nation. Me personally, man, like even though I don't engage in religion at all, I got my discipline from the Nation.
I think I've had watched about 3 different clips about about 3 different clips about the relevance of religion and church to Black society today. There's one Boyce Watkins has come out with, then State of Black Shreveport is like on the 11th of March. And they're going to talk about the relevance of it. And then there was some other lecture. Oh, there's this group I follow called New Era Detroit. They're like really militant, and they went to this church that's in like the hood, and the man had like Bentleys, and they interrupted church service. And me being like a good Christian girl, I was like, I know they ain't coming to church service, but they kind of needed to.
You need to.
I was like, man.
Yeah,
I mean, we got a couple pastors driving around here.
I'll say this about stuff like that.
Luxury vehicles.
I'm like, do what you feel you need to do.
But and here's the thing, you know, we kind of coming back to the Judas and the Black Messiah point, and I did want to make this point since I am speaking back on it. I just feel like the actor that played was Daniel. I wasn't feeling him as Fred. I just wasn't. But
is he the Black Panther guy?
I think he was alright, but I just wasn't feeling the chairman.
I had like the
problem with the
story.
But back to what I was saying, I
yeah.
ain't mean to go back into that, but you know what I mean? Like, I ain't get free from that.
I will say, he was missing, he was missing some fire. Like, when you go back and you watch those clips of Fred Hampton and, like, how he would, like, he could, like, I'm telling you, he would walk into the most depressive state of rooms and rally these people, and they would feel like they could take over the world. You know, I feel like he was just missing a little fire, you know?
It's like I said, not to say that he did a bad job. I mean,
some people would agree that he did. I mean, now that is online. That is, it's a whole bunch of critics that feel as though
that was Fred.
And Black
Panther,
right?
yeah. It was a lot of people that felt like he lacked the same fire that Fred Hampton would have, or portraying it. I mean, it might be,
but you can say
you walked into it when you know who it is.
Malcolm X, Denzel, he brought it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know, Denzel. I think Denzel like did some kind of channeling.
No, he did.
Because they said like he was knowing speech. He was like that. That's a different type of method acting.
I'll say this, but because that's kind of in turn the difference between the movies today and the movies of the past. You know, you had to take your time with the film. You know, even though like if you've read the autobiography of Malcolm X and watched the movie, those are 2 completely different. So anybody that think they watched the movie and they know the story, no, because it didn't even bring up any of his family. But I say that to say this, the movies of the past, it had to be so meticulous as far as from a director's standpoint, because it's not digital. This is all on film. This film costs money. And you know, from an actor standpoint, you can't just mess up the lines. You have to be on point to the T. This it. You gotta nail it. Ain't gonna be all these cuts. So, you know, so that's why you can say like those movies back in the day just were better, because it might not have been there technology wise, but the performance was impactful just because it had to be, you know.
I agree.
What we got next?
We were talking about Valentine's Day.
Yeah, Valentine's Day.
These people here really didn't, you know.
Well, I always have a horrible
Valentine's Day was chap. It was chap. It was chap.
Mine was wonderful. I relaxed. I I put lotion on.
I almost
day.
went to jail. So
Oh my goodness, I got 2 I miss you texts. You know what I'm saying? It was a wonderful
And
day.
there was no
Cute
candy
dress.
on sale. It was horrible.
yeah, they didn't
I
have no
don't eat
candy on
sugar,
sale.
so it's like I ain't missed out.
7, how
Right,
was your
candy.
Valentine's Day?
He's-
I don't even remember it.
That's terrible.
Oh.
Like I don't. It just
not
came to me.
terrible.
I don't
It is
even-
terrible. But you know what? I
Nah.
think the reason why my Valentine's Day went the way it
Why
went and I
was it?
almost went to jail is because, listen, I usually don't care about Valentine's Day. You know, it wasn't important to me. It wasn't a day where I was like, oh, it's Valentine's Day. I used to just be like, yeah, okay. Hey, y'all, it's Sunday, Tuesday, whatever day Valentine's Day will come on. Yeah, it was on a Sunday. And I think because I was looking forward to this one, right, I ruined it for myself. Because other than that, I used to tell people, I was like, I've never had a Valentine's like outside of my dad. And then one of my best friends I've known since like kindergarten, like my friend Ryan. Ryan was like the first person to buy me like a stuffed teddy bear when I went to college for Valentine's Day. But other than that, and he was just doing it, right? And I was like, and other than that, he was just doing it so I wouldn't feel like left out or something. And I was like, I'm fine. Like, I'm not over here crying in the corner because I don't have a Valentine. But I just put too much weight on this one, right? And when it didn't go the way that I was thinking it was supposed to go, I was ready to kill everybody. So, yeah.
Murder.
Self accountability.
I am.
Look at
Because
you.
if I would have never expected anything, I would have been good. I would have been like, oh, okay. But it was because I was just like, oh, yeah, this is going to be different. No.
Mine was nice and realistic.
Anytime.
But I got a nice
anything
gift
expected.
after the fact. I did. I got a nice gift after the
I've
fact.
never had a gift up. Listen, I'll tell you my first Valentine's Day experience here on the podcast. I'm a person that holidays and me, yeah, I'm not in the holiday spirit. I'm never, yeah. So, my first little real, love or whatnot, I was like, I told her, I was like, I don't celebrate Valentine's.
And she
Day.
should have
It's
hit you
not-
across the head.
No, but here's the thing. It would have been cool. It's like she was like, "Well, I do," but that's not what was said. It's like, "Oh, okay, cool."
But you should have. And you know what? No, you know what? I've learned that when you don't do something, someone doesn't necessarily like not agree with you. You have to learn to. So basically, you have to learn to listen to what people are not saying to understand what they're saying.
No,
I'm a-
no.
Like,
This
I can't
look,
do. You do because some people don't know how to communicate.
Hold
I'm
on,
just
let me
saying they
finish
don't know
the
how to
story.
communicate.
So just so y'all know
She
how
blew
it
you
ended.
up.
So and
So how did it end?
It ended basically me getting a call that night.
Because she was saying okay. She said okay to the fact that you didn't do that, but she thought you would consider her enough.
okay.
Yeah, so
But that's why I'm saying sometimes you have to listen to.
No, this is what you have
But
to
you
we
do.
ain't doing
Sometimes you
this,
have
we
to
ain't
learn
doing
that.
But it's really important. Like for instance, I have a friend. Her birthday is really important to me because on every other holiday, and I always tell people, your birthday is the day you do your favorite things, you get your favorite stuff. Because every other holiday is about somebody else. Valentine's Day is about who you
Oh yeah, my
love.
birthday is a holiday.
I was to say mine used to be
I
Arbor
don't
Day.
even be celebrating
But
my birthday, dog. I just be
obviously,
here.
I love my
what
birthday.
we just
I'm having a
found
good time.
If you miss my birthday,
No.
you dead to me. Like straight up. That's how serious my birthday is.
So, y'all know we gotta wrap it up, and
Yeah,
we
we
were
do.
supposed to do like a verse
Hold
of the
on.
day.
Oh, so
but-
we wrapping it up? We wrapping it
Yeah.
up?
It's
Alright.
we're supposed to do like a verse
So we
of the
can
day.
end with a bar of the day, whatever yours was. Mine was by her. The song is called Damage. Mine, it literally says in the second verse, it says, either learn me or I'ma listen. So put that in your juice box and suck it, because it's just period.
Say it again.
It says either learn me or I'ma listen. In relationships, you're going to have to learn how to love me. I'm going to have to learn how to love you, or this thing ain't gonna work. We just gonna be a lesson to each other. And let me not expound on what I think lessons are in relationships, but yeah, y'all just people in general, get that together. Learn your person. Yeah.
I like that. Oh, I'm supposed to go next. Okay. I would say today is Erykah Badu's birthday, so I'm gonna say something. I mean, like I had this discussion with Dude before about like what's a bar, and I still don't think I have it right. But Erykah Badu, my favorite song by her is Bag Lady. So she's just like, I bet your love can make it better, and that's like my favorite thing she says. So,
Well, I'll just say, I'm just gonna do a drop. Zulu Boy's new single out. It's complicated. It's the perfect Valentine's Day song.
It's the perfect
It came out on
Valentine's Day song.
Valentine's
Yeah, it's perfect, especially
Lord, I'm trying
for
to
this
see.
conversation. So, I wrote the hook. I wrote the song. Shout out to the legendary Ricky Latt jumping on that
man,
thing, putting the
shout out
sauce
to
on it.
Ricky,
He was killing it in the video.
Yeah, go watch that video, man. And but yeah, I really don't have a singled out bar for you just because I love the whole song.
I got to revisit some of your first album because I thought it was out on the day you said it was like you're coming soon. I was like, no, I'm on Tidal. I can't find it. So I re-listened to Elegant Simplicities. I was like, oh man, I forgot how good.
It's Asian Will.
Yeah. I was like,
But that's what music's supposed to do. It shouldn't be. Well, that'll be a whole nother conversation.
I know for sure.
Rapping.
I don't have a bar, man.
You ain't got nothing you listening to right now.
No songs,
you doing?
no
No
favorites.
jazz, no
Old
little
school.
I'm
lo-fi.
listening to some jazz, and not bars and jazz.
Okay,
You know
yeah,
just what you want, you know you playing games with me. Oh, we gon' see, baby.